Good morning to all those tuning in. This is the Rebel Lemon, and today we're back to playing the Dream Machine. So, let's get right into it. Chapter 3. A boat beneath a sunny sky, lingering onward dreamily in an evening of July. I wish these kind of worked like the rest of the game, where you had to click to continue. But anyways, you guys can enjoy the quote. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard to another glorious evening aboard the SS Albatros. We hope you're enjoying your cruise so far. In a moment, we'll start serving the evening meal in the dining hall. On behalf of the crew aboard, we wish you a continued pleasant journey. This must be the leisure cruise Alicia talked about during breakfast. Looks like she's having the same dream again. I need to find the machine's roots and cut it out of the dream. I'd better find Alicia, as well as she might be able to help me. Oh, right. Because if I remember correctly, in the first chapter, I believe she said that she was having reoccurring dreams. There's a heart-shaped carving here. It says 11 plus A. It's a part of the ship's PA system. It's a standard issue life preserver. There'll be plenty of time to relax once I've cut the machine from the stream. It shields people from the sun. There doesn't seem to be anything else in this area, so I suppose we can just continue on. Okay. This would even creep the living hell out of me. Oh, okay. I suppose the bartender doesn't care? Interesting. Well, it's in a dream, so why not? It's a standard issue life preserver. Cool. Alright, let's talk to myself, who's also the bartender. That's not me, that is me. Fuck it, I don't know, it's a dream. Hello? Hello, cadet. I can't see your badge anywhere. That's a grade D violation. Identify yourself. My name is Victor Neff. My name is Victor Neff. What? Bartender? Tending bar is only my current assignment. When you address me, call me sir. Is that understood? Yes, sir. That wasn't so hard, was it? Now, Cadet Neff, why don't you have a badge? A badge? Your number, Cadet. What's your number? I don't have one. Then how do I know what to call you? Why don't you just call me Victor? Because my name is also Victor. That's a strange coincidence, don't you think? It's a pretty common name. That is kind of true. I believe I've met 3 Victors. I think. No, okay, technically I've only met 2. One of them was their middle name. They just preferred to go by it. But I'm counting it. In fact, every crew member on the ship is named Victor. That's why we use badges. The fact you don't know this makes me suspicious. Are you a rebel insurgent? A what? Are you a rebel, son? Or a spy? You smell like a spy. Um, I'm neither. Don't lie to me, sailor. I'll waterboard you 6 ways till Sunday. I promise, I'm not lying. Cross your heart and hope to die? What? It's a simple question, sailor. Do you cross your heart and hope to die? What kind of interrogation is this? I'm sorry, mate. I'm just messing with you. I knew you were coming, and I thought I'd give you a little hazing. To say welcome aboard. Sorry if I scared you. Oh, you had me worried there for a second. I'm Victor 5, by the way. We're sharing cabins, so you and I will be seeing a lot of each other. I was told to send you up to the captain's abode once you got here. He greets all the new crew members, so you should probably go see him. Take all day, though. He loves to wait. Or was there anything else? Yeah, I'm good. This interaction just creeps me out to begin with. It's a dumbwaiter. It's used to send things between decks. Cool. Also, the reason I didn't ask where the captain was I just wanted to look around. It's a decorative mermaid statuette. The door is locked. Door is locked. Intercom? Let's call the kitchen. Kitchen here. Who am I talking to? Oh, second prep chef Victor 84. What in the hell? Who are you? I'm Victor Neff. That's not a proper call sign. I don't think you should be using intercom until you got an assignment, cadet. Go see the supervisor in your section and he'll set you up. Cool. Crew member. Oh, we can enter cabin 3. I hate doorways. Hey, it's another Victor. It's a standard issue radio receiver. Probably used for listening to music during the off hours. Piles of dirty dishes. Oh, are we doing chores? It's a wooden desk chair. Power outlet. It contains standard issue clothes and uniforms. Who? Who are you? I'm a crew member, apparently. I didn't think you were due until tomorrow. I guess I was early. Nothing wrong with that, I guess. I'm Victor 4, the chief, busboy. How come you haven't got your badge on? I haven't got a badge. So you haven't spoken with Captain, to the Captain Ad? Not yet. Go see him as soon as you can. He's on deck 3. Were you expecting somebody? Not at all. I've just had a lot on my mind recently. Oh no. With the disappearance and all that. The disappearance? Oh, nobody told you yet? No. A crew member didn't show up for his shift this morning, and nobody's seen him since last night. We searched the ship, but we can't find him. Most guys think he's sleeping off a bender somewhere. but personally I think it's possible he had enemies aboard. But I've said too much already. I'll leave it to the Captain Ab to brief you properly. I should get going. See you later then. Oh, he was asleep. I do think getting some information before going to see the captain is like probably a good thing to do. Give us a little insight before going to see him. I'm guessing you're the new guy, eh? Nice to meet you. I'm Victor 7. I'm the ship's head servant. I should get going. See you later then. Nothing too interesting so far. It's empty. Let's look through the window. It's the bridge of the ship. Call bridge. Bridge. Attica? Captain Neff isn't here right now. Would you like to leave a message? I don't actually know what to say. Tell her the real Victor Neff is here to see her. The real Victor Neff? Yes, her husband. In the real world, that is. Very funny, Cadet. What's your call sign? I'm going to have to report this. Never mind. Wrong number. Jeez. Welcome aboard, Cadet. I'm Victor 3, Captain Attica Neff's aboard. Holy crap. I'm essentially her right hand aboard this ship. Attica's the captain aboard? Yes, but to you, she's Captain Neff. And nothing else. Your orders from the bridge will come through me. The captain has a full plate and doesn't have time to micromanage individual cadets. You got that? I have something I want to ask you. Hold on, Cadet. First things first. First, we need to get you designated you a call sign so people know what to call you. How does Victor 6 strike you? Sounds fine, I guess. Wait, so we have a Victor 84, but I'm Victor 6? So I guess it's not linear? Good. Here's your badge. From now on, if you hear Victor 6 over the PA system, that means you. I haven't heard anything about your assignment yet, but why don't you get acquainted with the boat and crew for now? They might need assistance, so that will be a good opportunity to make yourself useful. Think you can handle that, Cadet? No, sir. Then you've got a challenge to rise to. Don't worry about it. I'm sure you'll do fine. Is there anything else? Oh, and before I forget, here's the key to cabin 1. That's where you bunk from now on. The lower bunk should be available. Make yourself at home. Is there anything else? Let's see. Crew members, how many? How many crew members are? Currently, we have over 1,500 passengers aboard. And in total, there are 250 crew members doing various tasks. But the ship is vast and sections rarely interact. The bridge lies beyond this door. That's where the captain and a command officers control everything aboard. Perform your duty well, and one day you might be able to join them. We're the top deck selection of the ship. Besides us, there's the bartender, the ship servant, and the busboy. Oh boy. That's all I guess. Come see me once you get settled in. I might have received an assignment from command by then. If you manage to impress them, there might be another assignment after that. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. So I have access to cabin 1. I suppose that should be our first stop. So, let's take a look. Home sweet home. So, the bunk bed is mine, the top is not. The top bunk looks well made. This belongs to the bartender. According to the captain aboard, this bunk is mine. It looks mildly comfortable. It's standard issue clothes and uniforms. Let's take out a deal today. Examine lamp. The lamp is screwed to the desktop. I guess that comes in handy during rough weather. It's a standard issue radio receiver. Yeah, same old, same old. Okay, so I will say one of my favorite things in games is the sound of water and running water. Personally, at least. But I suppose there's a lot of sounds that I actually like, that when a game nails it really well, I'm actually very impressed. So this game actually runs running water pretty well, which I'm happy for. The ship is equipped with some sort of PA system. Are you getting used to life aboard? It still feels very unfamiliar. Don't worry about it. Once you have an assignment, you'll get used to it. About that. Captain, Sabine. Oh, Captain's aid! Oh my god. I've been pronouncing it like a moron up until now. Captain's aid told me to, make myself useful and help you guys out. Is there anything you need? If you want, you can clean that desk over there. I do it myself, but I'm on break. Sure, thanks. It needs to be sent to the kitchen. Oh, God. I don't think I would really love to see the rest of the ship, but I don't think that's gonna happen, unfortunately. How do I get to the kitchen? You don't. Just use the dumbwaiter by the bar. Alright, goodbye. See you later. I don't have time for your shit. Fuck you. I advise you put it on your badge, man. Refusing to wear it is a grade D violation, and the captain is pretty strict about uniform code. Right side up. Oh, interesting. Captain's aide told me to help you out. Is there anything I can do? Sure thing. I don't know if you noticed yet, but there's a bit of a rat infestation aboard. I just saw one scurry into a hole, by the door over there. Oh, over here. If you want, you could help me eradicate them. Sure, what do I need to do? As far as I can tell, they build their nests in the walls. You need to locate all the nests and bait them with poison. How many nests are there? I've seen 3 so far. Sounds good? Why don't you do it? I need to look tanned for the captain. She always seems so distant and on the job, but under the stern surface hides a yearning for love. We're made for each other, I just know it. Consider it done. Great, here's the rat poison. There's only a little bit left, but I think there'll be enough to bait all the nests. Don't handle this stuff lightly, I mind you. Poison is potent enough to kill a full-grown man. Gee. Alright, see ya. See you later then. Let's use it on the rat hole. I put some poison in the hole. Awesome. We gotta look for... examine the bed. It's a single bed. I will say, for the most part, I put some poison in the hole. For the most part, the whole game so far has been pretty good, moving from one area to another. Oh, there's a hole here. But I will say, I put some poison in the hole. This chapter has been giving me a few problems. And I don't know if I like the fact that you can look through the portholes. Kind of gives me a creepy and off-putting vibe. But I suppose maybe that's just me. Oh, right. I guess I can use this with the dumbwaiter. Better open it first. God damn it. Waiters heading and approaching. Dishes in the dumbwaiter. I better hold on to this bowl, it might be useful. Bridge, kitchen. It would be honestly really funny. I'm gonna do it. I guess this doesn't really do anything, so let's send it to the kitchen. Okay, cool. Captain Zaid told me to help you out. Is there anything I can do? Not likely. Tending a bar requires years of training. It's a really huge responsibility. Okay. How do I start training? This book is a good place to start. Oh, bloody hell. The Ultimate Drink Book. A comprehensive guide to cocktails from around the world. That's it? I just read this? Knowing the recipes is only the beginning. You can train a monkey to follow a recipe, but that doesn't make him a good bartender. The hard part is doing it with flair and finesse. Do that, and I'll tell the captain's aide that you help me out. What do I need? Mix me a martini. You'll find everything you need around the bar. If you mess up, just rinse the shaker and in the sink and start again. Oh, cool. So, I don't really drink anymore. So, I actually don't know how to make a martini. Americano. You know what? I actually have Americanos though. So, Americano? Americano is a coffee, not an alcohol drink? What? Oh, okay. So, if you like Bloody Marys, look, good for you. I just don't. Well, I guess I used to. I still don't. I don't drink. But, that's gross. Tomato juice? I just don't like it. It's just weird, you know? Daiquiri. Daiquiri's actually pretty damn good. I've never had an El Presidente. I've had a gin sing. Manhattan, margarita, martini, salty dog. Holy shit. Oh, there are also black Russians. I think, fuck, I can't remember the difference. I think the difference is whether or not you add cream. I don't know. I like it. So, 3 gin, 6 Vermouth, and lemon juice. So the ingredients in the bar shaker. Strain. Okay. So I poured a dash. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now let's make sure I got the proportions correct. Okay, so I need 3 more Vermonts. Chilled cocktail glass. And twist some. Okay. So I need 1, 2, 3. I need, because it once stirred. But apparently, you can actually have, martinis, both shaken and stirred. And it just depends on preference, because it actually does make a difference. Kitchen here. I'm calling from, the bar. What can I do for you, bartender? I'm hungry. Can you send something out? You prima donnas get to eat when the rest of us get to eat. No exception. And we're in the middle of serving dinner, if you don't mind. Just one more thing. Let's wear it as a 9. And then go talk to the captain's aide. Victor 9, what can I... Oh, Victor 6, I can see you mistakenly put your badge upside down. Let me correct that for you. You're lucky I noticed that. Captain's very strict on dress code. Interesting. I wonder if there's anyone we can trick, though. Victor 9, what can I... Oh, Victor 6. Huh. Is there anyone I can trick with that stunt? That's... 'Cause otherwise, why would they do that? Victor 9, what can I... Oh, Victor 6. Anything else you need me to do? Not right now, but I checked with the other crew members. They might have some tasks for you to do. Goodbye. He has his own, and I need this in order to identify myself. So you can't steal. Interesting. So there's one more Victor. I wonder if I can trick him. Nope. Huh, so I guess you can't really trick anyone. I squeezed some lemon juice into the shaker. Lo and behold, I created a martini. Oh, okay, cool. There we go. Let's taste, shall we? That's surprisingly decent martini. Just what I needed. Sweet liquor makes the time go quicker. Tell the captain's aide that you helped me out. Thanks. Now we need to find that last rodent hole. I'm gonna take a bet. It is, and I missed it. It's right here. That was the last of them. Which is just as well since I'm out of poison. Manual labor. Victor 6, report to Captain's aid. Repeat, Victor 6, report to Captain's aid. I do like that wherever people are talking, that's where the speech bubbles are, or I guess speech text is. I don't know, I just feel it's a really nice touch. There you are. Has my assignment arrived yet? I just received a briefing. It's a doozy. There might even be a big promotion in it if you play your cards right. As you've heard, or might have heard, one of our crew members went AWOL recently. Yeah, the crew member told me about that. It's unfortunate, but sometimes these things happen. According to initial reports, he was seen drinking late last night. But the captain suspects somebody might be withholding information. Why does she suspect that? Because the initial reports contradict each other. Someone says they saw him drinking. Some say he never touched a drop. It doesn't add up. Has this happened before? It's pretty rare, but yeah, these things happen now and again. You sound pretty unconcerned. The way I see it, he probably passed out drunk somewhere below deck. That's usually the case when people miss a shift. I think he'll show up sooner or later. Who's the missing crew? His sign is Victor 11. He worked as the sun deck steward. He always seemed very reliable to me, but I haven't had much contact with him. Protocol states we have to inform his next of kin 24 hours after the disappearance. That hour is approaching quickly, and the captain wants to be able to tell them something more substantial than, "Sorry, we seem to have misplaced your son." What does he do exactly? He basically takes care of passengers who are sunbathing. It can be anything from applying sunscreen to managing the deck chair reservations. Where did I get this? Since you arrived today, you're the most impartial crew member aboard. You don't know any of the crew, and you have no reason to lie. That puts you in a unique position to actually find out what happened. Could foul play be behind the disappearance? I guess all options have to be considered while considered until we found enough evidence to rule them out. What does the captain want me to do exactly? She wants you to investigate this disappearance, follow this crew member, and find out what they know. Where was he seen last? Did he talk to anyone without leaving? Is he hiding from something? That sort of thing. Who knew him best? I couldn't say. I'm the one to ask about this. He shared cabins with Victor 7, the head servant. He ought to know pretty well. Alright. With this assignment, you've been promoted to the rank of Assistant 4th Class. Perform your duty admirably, and there might be another promotion down the line. Come back to me if you find anything or need my help. I might be able to nudge you in the right direction. Alright, so let's start. So typically Victor 7 would be, I guess, most people's first start. But I'm actually gonna start with the bartender, because someone said he was drinking. But someone else said he hadn't had a drop. So the person you'd actually probably want to go to first is the person serving drinks, which is the bartender. Hi, I'm investigating the disappearance of Victor 11. You mind if I ask you a few questions? So the captain's made you her little snitch, has she? What? No, I'm not a snitch. I'm just kidding, sport. Ask away. Tell me about Victor 11. How well do you know him? Well enough. We weren't bosom buddies or anything, but we got along fine. We had occasional turf disputes when a guest from the sun deck caused problems at the bar and vice versa. Nothing serious. To be honest, if those two things happened, you think you would want to work together to solve those issues? But then again, I can also understand if, like, those issues kind of were just annoying. It's like, hey, why couldn't you just deal with this? Why am I dealing with it? And like vice versa, blah blah blah. Did he drink a lot? He came here for the occasional shot every now and again. And if he had a rough shift. I never saw him flat out drunk though. He drank on duty? That's commonplace on board cruise ships. What else is there to do? Go dancing? Stay here long enough and you start wanting to do it as well. Won't the passengers smell it on you? That's why they invented breath mint. And most of them are way too sauced than we are anyways. Did he have any other problems I should know about? You mean substance abuse? That's pretty rare among the service staff. They test us, you see. The guys down in engineering, though, they're always high on something. Who can blame them, though, right? You know what? There's a joke that I love to have. But essentially it's that, like, anyone who smokes pot that doesn't have anything to smoke it in automatically become fucking engineers because they'll do anything to make a fucking bong. Like, Jesus, I've seen someone make bongs out of beer bottles and it was a beer bottle and a Coke can. Fuck. And then I've seen like fucking dozen and a half other shit. It's actually kind of brilliant, but like, holy shit. Did Victor 11 want to leave the ship? He fought hard to be promoted to Sundeck service. Competition for Sundeck positions is fierce. There's no way he'd throw that away. Okay. Tell me about his disappearance. When was the last time you saw him? He came to the bar, late last night. I stood about where you were standing now. Had a few drinks to unwind after a shift. Did he talk to anyone at the bar? He said hi to some passengers, but aside from that, he was alone. He seemed like he was waiting for someone. Who? I don't know. Nobody showed up. Did he drink enough to become impaired in any other way? Could he have fallen overboard? That sounds unlikely to me. He walked straight as an arrow when he left. When was that? About 11 or 12. Was there anything that seemed strange about him last night? Not that I recall. He stood there drooling away on a napkin. What? Oh, doodling. What did he draw? Something that might be related to what you're looking for. You can have it, but first there's something I need you to help me with. What now? Ever since I came aboard, the captain's been asking me to make her a Bloody Mary. But because of the rationing, some ingredients are nigh impossible to get a hold of. What do you need? What do you want me to do about it? Make me a Bloody Mary, and I'll give you the napkin. Why is this drink so important? I don't know if you're aware of this, but I'm next in line for a command position. You probably heard rumors about it, but feeling this drink order might be the thing that pushes me over the golden line. Do me this favor and I might be able to pull some strings for you once I'm on the bridge. Alright, sounds fair, I guess. Thanks. Really means a lot to me. Tell me about the crew particularly. Tell me about number 4. That guy's too high-strung for his own good. The only reason he's allowed up here is due to some mental ailment. The guy's afraid of his own shadow. The doctor thought some fresh air would do him some good. When I was fresh aboard, he used to confide all the wacko theories to me. As bartender, that comes with the job. But the guy was talking headache-inducing tinfoil hat stuff. After a while, I just stopped listening. He must have noticed because he stopped talking to me pretty much entirely. These days, he mostly keeps to himself. What kind of theories did he talk about? That there's something wrong with the ship. But she's looking pretty good to me, eh? What's his relation with Victor 11? They didn't have much contact, but I saw them talking more and more lately. In friendly fashion? They weren't exactly cracking jokes, but they seemed to get along. I don't know if it was a friendship, though. They seemed more like schoolboys sharing the secrets of a hidden porn stash. What were they talking about? The weather. I've never heard them talking about anything else. Head servant Victor 7. Aside from his hugely inflated ego, he's pretty unremarkable. What was his relation to Victor 11? They shared cabins, so they must have known each other pretty well. I've never saw them do anything together, though. Why do you think that is? I think they were pretty tired of each other. How about number 3? Standing so close to the bridge has given him an inflated sense of importance. He's a glorified messenger boy with no real authority. What's his relationship to Victor 11? Pretty non-existent. Captain A doesn't really like to mix with the rest of us. I suspect he thinks it'll adversely affect his chances of getting promoted. That's it. See you later. Let's ask the kitchen staff to see if they can bring me up some stuff. Kitchen here. I'm trying to locate Victor 11. Have you seen him down there? No, he hasn't been down in the kitchen. Nobody's seen him. Right, just checking. Do you have some tomatoes down there? We're working within limitations, just like you. If you already blown through the month's tomato ration, that's your problem. You can't spare a single tomato. I need some juice for a drink. Tell you the truth, we haven't seen a tomato in weeks. We've started using surrogates at this point, and I suggest you use the same. What can I use as a tomato juice surrogate? Anything red and liquid will probably do just fine. If you make the drink strong enough, these old bums won't notice. Thanks, I'll try that. Ooh, maybe we have to use blood. Alright, let's talk to this guy. Investigating the disappearance of Victor 11. I'd like to ask you a few questions about it, if you don't mind. Shoot. How well did you know him? I knew him quite well, I guess. We shared cabins for the last couple of months. Which cabin would that be? Cabin 2, right around the corner. I'd like to check out where he lived. You wouldn't happen to have the key, would you? As strange as it might sound, I seem to have forgotten where I put it. Maybe you can do something to jog my memory. Like what? There's a guy down in the kitchen, Victor 84. He's just a prep chef, but for some reason he thinks he's got the right to boss my waiters around. Can you find some way to teach that guy a lesson? I might be able to remember where I put the key. What type of lesson? Something that says don't mess with the waitstaff. How do I do that? Frankly, I don't want to know. Alright, I'll do it. Great. Come back and I'll give you the key. Fine, when's the last time you saw him? Last night around 9 or 10. Where was that? Our cabin. I was coming back from a shift. He was freshening up. Said he had a meeting with someone on the sun deck. Who? I don't know, but he seemed pretty antsy. Got himself, perfume to the gills, so naturally I thought he was seeing some, skirt from the passenger section. You didn't ask? We're not allowed to consult with, passengers, but if one of us does, I tend to look the other way. What happens next? I tried to cover his morning shift, thinking he was off on cloud 9. But he didn't show up for lunch. I started to suspect something was wrong. What did you do then? By then, his absence had already been noticed by others. I didn't tell anyone about the meeting because I thought it would look bad on his permanent record. I see. Do you have belief he wanted to leave the ship? He never mentioned that to me. We were pretty close. Did he seem unhappy about something? I wouldn't say so. He seemed preoccupied lately, but definitely not unhappy. Preoccupied with what? I don't know. He never told me. That's interesting, 'cause he didn't seem Well, then again, if he's waiting for someone, I guess if someone says he's waiting for someone and was impatient, that could be antsy. I'll let it slide. Did you have any enemies on board? Why do you ask? Do you think someone wanted to get rid of him? I'm just trying to be thorough. How can you make enemies on the sun deck? I don't know. Maybe he got smooth with somebody's wife. I suppose that's possible, but he's always seemed so professional. That's all. See you later then. Oh boy. Alright, get up. I'm investigating the disappearance of Victor 11. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions? I was afraid this might happen. Why do you say that? When I heard he was missing this morning, I got a bad feeling. Like I knew something was wrong. Hearing that the cabins ordered an investigation confirms that. He hasn't missed a shift anymore. He's gone. That's still gotta be decided. Do you know about his disappearance? What do you want to know? Tell me about Victor. How well did you know him? Hardly at all. I bumped into him every once in a while when bussing tables on the sun deck, but that's pretty much it. Bartender said she knew Victor 11, knew each other pretty well. He said that? Yeah. He said you guys talked a lot about the weather. We only talked about the weather when we thought he was eavesdropping. What did you otherwise talk about? We recently found that we shared certain ideas. I've long suspected that there's something going on aboard. Previously, everybody dismissed me as a conspiracy nut. But lately, Victor 11 started inquiring me about my theories. What kind of theories? The dangerous kind, it seems. The kind that make people go missing. Can you clarify that statement? I'd rather not. I don't want you to go missing as well. Did he have any other problems I should know about? His life was sunshine and butterflies until he went missing. If there's anything, you're more than welcome to contribute. I'm sorry, but the last guy I told went missing, so I'm a bit reluctant confiding in others. Let me guess, you want me to do something for you first? Oh no, nothing like that. You don't gain somebody's trust by submitting yourself as their errand boy. Then how? Prove to me that you don't think I'm crazy. Prove to me that there's conspiracy going on board, and I'll consider trusting you. You know what the conspiracy is likely about? The dream machine. I bet you that has something to do with it. Alright. Not before he knew what was going on board. What would that be? That's what I've been trying to figure out. Did he have any enemies on board? Given the circumstances, don't you think that's likely? He might come back. Your optimism is touching. Tell me more about the circumstances of his disappearance. When was the last time you saw him? He came to me during a break and asked if I would be in my cabin later that evening. He said he found something he wanted to show me. What did he show? I don't know, it never turned up. What did you do the night of his disappearance? I went to bed listening to the radio. Did you see or hear anything about the out of the ordinary? I was drifting off into sleep. I thought I heard raised voices outside the cabin. I peeked through the porthole to see what the fuss was about, and it was just Victor 11 and the head servant, Victor 7. They were engaged in another one of their arguments. About what? I didn't listen, frankly. They didn't seem to like each other, but had to make the best of the bad situation. How did you find out he was missing? I thought it was strange that he didn't show up last night. I thought I might have fallen asleep and missed him knocking. But when they passed him over the PA system this morning, I got this sinking feeling in my stomach, like I knew something was wrong. Did you report it? It was just a feeling, and his absence had already been noted. What about the other crewmates? See, I never asked about the captain because I didn't really care. Because it's probably one of the victors. Actually, I don't think it is a victor. What I do think, though, that going down the line of questioning of the captain isn't going to get me anywhere. Victor 5. Everyone knows he's a rubbish bartender. I don't know how he does it, but somehow he's managed to avoid the motions for quite some time. Why do you think that is? He's crafty. Back when he worked below deck, I heard he was suspected of framing a young cadet in order to take credit for his work. Nothing could be proved, so the case was dropped. 2 months later, he was promoted to head of cabin services. But his luck seems to be running out. How come? He's failed to deliver a drink ordered to the captain on more than one occasion. It's hard to blame that on somebody else. I guess he's run out of cadets to manipulate. Victor 7? Between you and me, I consider him too stupid to be a threat. What's his relationship with 11? They didn't get along, and would constantly button heads. What did they argue about? Mainly small day-to-day stuff. Someone used the other's aftershave, or stepping in on the other's bunks with shoes on. That type of stuff. Victor 3? That guy wants a command position so badly he's waiting right outside the door. What was his relationship with Victor 11? They didn't socialize. The captain's aide is only interested in being friends with people above his station. That's all. See you later. Actually, I have a theory. I want to check out the locker. Nothing. Okay. Something has me off-put, I guess. That's all. Alright, let's use the intercom. Call the kitchen. Kitchen here. Stop harassing waitstaff or else. Or else what? You'll regret it. You have to be a little bit more convincing than that, I'm afraid. The restaurant. Gee, what now? We received a complaint. Oh boy, what's the problem? A customer said the soup was too, cold. Is there anything you can do about that? Sure, that's easy. Just send the dish down and I'll put it in the blast furnace. That'll make anything smoking hot in mere seconds. Thanks. So... Oh, wait a sec. Let me check. What is the... Oh, you need hot sauce. Okay, so it needs to be... call kitchen. Calling from the restaurant. Gee, what now? We see the complaint. Oh, what's the problem? It was too mild. Is there anything you can do about that? Sure, that's easy. I'll put something in the dumbwaiter right away. Thanks. So we need lemon juice, hot sauce, Worcestershire. So we need a mix of Vermont, 7 parts gin. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I believe it was one of these. Yep. Okay, so time to go get my hot sauce. Oh, I wonder what happens if I say it's too spicy. They might actually put some tomatoes in it. Call kitchen. I'm calling from the restaurant. Received a complaint. Spicy. Can you do something about it? That's tough. We can put flavor in it, but we really can't take it out. My advice would be to counterbalance it with something like yogurt. But we're fresh out of that due to the rationing. I see. Disgusting. Is there something you do about that? You gotta be kidding me, right? They actually said that? We slaved in this hellhole all day, and that's the thanks we get? Do you know how hard it is down here? Do you know the tools we have to work with? I've seen pillowcases sharper than these knives. I'm at a loss for words. Good going. I hope they died choking on that meal. Right? Never mind. Actually, what happens if we call them and say we are the bridge? Did you say your call sign's Victor 6? Yeah? You're not a member of the command. You don't know who my superior officers are. I did say the bridge. I meant to say... Ooh. I could have you court-martialed for this. Sorry, only kidding. Bye. Could engineering help me? I haven't contacted them yet. Engineering department. Who am I talking to? Jonah, I don't care, 78. Who are you? Victor 6. I'm calling from... the bar. What do you want, bartender? Never mind. Engineering. Calling from... Have you seen him down there? No, I haven't seen him. Right. Hello, I'm calling from the restaurant. How's it going? Well, I was sober an hour ago, but things are starting to shape up. We're getting pretty big down here. You should join us. I'll consider it. What if I say... Calling from the kitchen. Oh, this is the stove cleaner. Yeah? Oh, sorry, I totally forgot to order that. But I'll send something similar in the dumbwaiter. Sounds good. I'll put it in the dumbwaiter then. Alright, so that should help us somewhat, right? Oh, shit. Oh, now we can maybe bribe... let's try it. Call the kitchen. Say... With the bridge? Impersonating officers, good elephant. Shit. How do we... Okay, we need to call the kitchen. That didn't do anything. Let's say we're from the bar. Never mind. Don't think I can get anyone to eat this. Okay, so we got this, we got this. We need the tomato juice, but we also need import in glass. I dashes lemon, hot sauce. So gently. Use this on this. Now we just need the tomato sauce. Okay. I guess that's the substitute. The shake and take cans. Thanks, but I don't need it right now. Mind if I ask you some more questions? No. What did you do the night of his disappearance? I was working here pretty much all night. Did you hear or see anything out of the ordinary? There were a few lingering passengers, so I got off a little bit earlier than usual. When did you get off? 1:30, I'd say. What did you do once your shift was over? I went to my cabin and decompressed while listening to music. You didn't hear anything out of the ordinary during that time? I fell asleep pretty quickly. How did you find out he was missing? I heard some passengers arguing over, chair bookings as I woke up. Some passengers, like to have breakfast on the sun deck. It can get pretty crowded sometimes. I remember thinking I didn't, envy Victor 11, his job. When was that? Probably around 9 o'clock. What time? Is that when you knew he was missing? No, but the absence seemed a little bit strange. He had to sort those things out, but I couldn't, hear him that morning. 10 minutes later, they paged him over the PA system, but I thought he'd overslept or something. Did he do that occasionally? Not at all, that I can recall. Alright. Oh, I think I know what to do. Let's add gasoline to the bowl. And let's rinse out the shaker. I've emptied and rinsed the shaker. So it was 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, then 1. Oh. Oh no. I have no reason to do that. Down you go. Okay, so where is that? Now, let's call the kitchen and complain that bowl of gasoline needs to be heated up. Call kitchen. I'm calling from the restaurant. Received the complaint. It was too cold. Alright. Do we have to send it down? Okay. I think we do. 1 second. I'm just trying to give it like as red of a look as possible. So send it to the kitchen. Okay, so that actually did something. Oh. Attention security personnel. Emergency fire detected in kitchen prep. Oh, prep kitchen. This isn't the best time to call. Oh, now let's, sorry, wrong number. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Don't be a dick. Alright, so I did what you needed. I heard the alarm. Was that you? No. Just a coincidence then? I ask you to teach the chef a lesson, and the next minute the kitchen blows up. I don't think it would be that bad. Pure coincidence. You scare me, man. If I had known what you'd do, I would have just given you the key up front. You could have killed somebody. So, do you remember where you put the key then? Yeah. Here. Take it. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Don't fuck with me. Alright, let's get in the cabin too. Alright, what do we have here? So this is where Victor 11 lived. Looks like the mirror image of cabin 1. But I can't shake the feeling something is different. Judging by the book plate, the book belongs to the missing crew member. It might be important. Alright, let's examine the bunks. Belongs to one of the missing crew members. Oh, wait, what? Oh. It's a power outlet, nothing special about it. I have noticed that there's no radio. So, someone was lying about that, and I think it was his roommate. Hold up. Victor 11. Oh, scalpel? No. Listen. List. Oh, list warning? Now that your tone is have will 5 me hat. Oh. Last warning. Now that your tune is 5 hat 4 ace. Huh. Looks like an extortion note, but I can't make out what it says. Whoever made this didn't have time to assemble it completely. Oh. It looks like an extortion letter, but I can't quite tell what it says yet. I think I know who made it. Looks really sharp. I have to be careful so I don't cut myself. Let's talk to his roommate about the radio. But I'm gonna check mine first, just in case there's commentary. But I feel like there's still something different about them. That's it. The radio was missing from cabin 2. I wonder if it could be significant. It really creeps me out that you can look out from the portholes. Alright, motherfucker. It's time for you to spill the beans. Why was the lady missing from your cabin? Is it? I hadn't noticed. I'm not much of a music lover. That was more Victor 11's thing. You think he took the radio with him? I mean, that's possible. He was pretty precious about it. I saw him wandering on the deck with it once. He was waving it around like a dowsing rod. Why would he do that? At the time, I thought he was trying to get better reception on it. Being high up in the air, we don't always get clear signal. Alright. I guess that makes sense in some ways. Alright. I wonder why it's missing from cabin 2. Yeah, even cabin 1 had one. Oh, sorry, cabin 3. Ah, this is the sun deck. This is where Victor 11 worked before he went missing. Looks pretty normal to me. Nothing on. Nothing on. Nothing on. Chase people from the sun. Huh. There doesn't seem to be anything odd around here. Except for 11 plus A, so I wonder if that means Victor 11 plus Audie? Could this be 11 to Victor 11's disappearance? I'm gonna hedge my bets on whoever killed him was jealous that Victor 11 had a personal relationship with number 11. Oh, a radio? What's that got to do with anything? I don't know, but it might be worth investigating. As strange as it might sound, I actually might know something about that. Really? Noting earth-shattering... Oh, nothing earth-shattering, mind you, but Victor 11 left something behind in the bar last night. I didn't think anything of it, but hearing you mention radio seems too strange to be coincidental. What did he leave behind? Something that might be related to what you're looking for. You can have it, but first you need to make me... God damn it. What do we have? Alright, let's... So, French Vermont, gin... Okay, let's start with... So, hot sauce, Worcestershire, one of these, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. What could be used? Actually, let's talk to the captain. What have you found so far? That's odd. Every cabin should be equipped with a personal radio receiver. Do you think it's bearing on the case? I don't know yet, sir. Keep investigating. Really? We knew they weren't fond of each other, but to hear they might have an argument on the night of the disappearance is troubling news. I'd like to report this to the captain. Good work. With that report, I've been told to promote you to the rank of Assistant Third Class. With who? I don't know yet. Try to find out. Whoever he was meeting might know more about the disappearance. If he didn't cause it outright, I'll try. I'll report on this to the captain in the meantime. This is best we lead so far. Ah, another promotion. I guess we can scratch that theory off the list then. I'll report the finding. Talk to the crew members, examine the attack, check out his quarters, maybe left something behind. That's it. Maybe? Huh. So, we still need something red. Maybe... let's try talking to the busboy again. What? Who told you about that? Nobody, I just noted the radio's missing in cabin 2. Really? That's very perspective of you. What do you know about it? I'm sorry, but the last guy involved... Let me guess, you want me to do something for you first? Nothing like that. Oh! This should actually... I better put all the letters where they belong before I show it to somebody. Oh. It should be... I need an A. So let's put all our loose letters at the bottom. And then we can go from there, I guess. Because once we know what is and isn't a part of the letter, or I should say, when we know what is and isn't in the correct place, then we can start doing some investigation work. Fuck. I will say I'm not too fond of... I'm not too fond of Q because there's very few words that actually use it, and you might think that is a good thing, but I don't know those words. That letter seems to be stuck now. There must have been some glue in that spot. I guess that's where it belongs. Last warning. Do we have an R? Last warning, I know what you've done. I have proof. Give me what I want, or face the con that's it. Every letter's in the last place. I can read the note now. An extortion letter belonged to the missing crew member. Was he blackmailing somebody on board? Is that the reason he went missing? Oh, that's probably who he was meeting up with. Maybe. The extortion letter ought to be proof of conspiracy. Someone was being extorted? What makes you say that? I found the note among Victor 11's possessions. Show it to me. This is it. The proof of conspiracy is right here. Victor 11 was the victim of blackmail. He couldn't pay or whatever they wanted from him, so they made him disappear. I think it's the other way around. Victor 11 was the one doing the extorting. What makes you say that? The note was hidden among his possessions, but it wasn't assembled yet. I found it along with the scalpel and some cut-out letters. That doesn't prove anything. Why would somebody give him an unreadable extortion letter? You're right, that sounds pretty far-fetched. Whom do you think the letter was intended for? I honestly don't know, but I think you can trust you now. There's more going on board than what meets the eye. It's pretty troublesome. I don't know if Victor 11 was involved in something like this. It seems so out of character for him. Where would he hide the radio? He wouldn't want it to fall into the wrong hands. Why? I don't know. Where can I find it? He had a secret compartment under the sink in cabin too. I believe he put the radio there. What's so special about it? He said he tampered with the receiver. If you know how to listen, it can lead you to something big. Like what? Something he found that held some kind of significance. But he never told me what it was. How does it work? He showed it to me a couple days ago, but I didn't think much of it. It only picks up this weird signal every once in a while. What kind of signal? Odd beeps, I guess. Nothing you can dance to. It only works sometimes. It seemed very flaky, but I didn't tell him. It seemed to think that bring on rapture or something. But I thought it was just a piece of junk. Actually, that was starting to sound like Morse code, to be honest. And I'm not... Oh, this is interesting. Who are you? Cadet Victor 9 at the surface, sir. You new on board? Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. Welcome aboard. Thank you. It's very kind of you. You forgot to call me, sir. That's code violation. Thank you for correcting me, sir. I won't forget again. That's alright. Just don't let it happen again. I won't let you down, sir. What are you doing here, cadet? I'm guarding this door, sir. Why? What's going on here? I can't say, sir. You don't know or you don't want to tell me? I don't know, sir. Guard the door and don't let anyone through, was all he told me. But whatever they're doing is making me awfully lot of noise. What was your previous assignment? I was just a luggage clerk, sir. I don't know why I got transferred, to be honest. I guess they must have done something right. When did you get here? Just a few minutes ago, sir. I went right up to the captain's aide, reported for duty, and got this assignment. Stand aside, I need to get into the cabin too. By order of the captain, you're not permitted to enter the cabin. At this point in time, sir, I'm your superior officer. I order you to let me through. By order of the captain, you're not permitted. Oh, shut up. Could I get by via favor? I guess not. I don't know, sir. 2 members from security. They had different badges from us, sir. I don't know how to read them. Interesting. There was another... pretty well, sir. It's a bit daunting, to be honest. Wait a minute, sir. Yes? Have you met the captain? What's she like? I've heard all kinds of stories. Is it true that she only sleeps an hour a day? I have to go, cadet. Right. Sorry to have bothered you, sir. I found an extortion letter. Really? This puts the investigation into a whole new light. This heavily implies foul play was involved. I have to report to this captain right away. Great work. With that rabbit, I've been... Ooh, another promotion. I know who's behind the disappearance. So I can put everything together from now? I'm actually starting to think it's my higher up. Can you help me distract the guy so I can sneak into cabin too? Can't leave the bar. It'll only take a second. No, I'm not leaving the bar. Darn. But if you want to get rid of someone, you could always accuse them of code violation, or put a crime on them. At the very least, they'll be out of your hair while the ruckus ensues. How would I do that? Do I look stupid to you? I can't tell you anymore, or I'll be making myself an accessory before the fact. What you're about to do isn't exactly in the onboard cruise manual. Come up with something, and make sure you can back it up with evidence. For the bartender, you seem to know awfully a lot about this type of stuff. You don't get promoted to top deck without being able to take an item off the menu. I tried to wear my badge upside down so it would look like 9, but everyone notices. It's not gonna work, since there's more on the badge than just a number. How then? Again, I can't tell you outright, but if you could make sure only the number was upside down, then it would look way better. Okay, see you later. Oh, how about this? I have to remove the badge in order to cut the number. That's a good idea, but I can't wear it like this. Um, Forgot me, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. Um, uh, I'm trying to just shift through the dialogue, so um, I can figure out what it is I need to do. See you later. Insert as number 9. It looks pretty good if you don't look at it too closely. What are you doing? Can't say. Welcome aboard. Oh, maybe not for him, but I'll have to ask you to put your badge on, cadet. Walking around without one, you better sort it out or we'll have to report you. Victor 9, what is it? Your instructions are to stay on guard outside cabin 2. Interesting. Tell the captain she got nice cans. I'll say no such thing, and I'll suggest you keep your sailor talk to yourself in the future. I want her to escort me to my cabin, if you know what I mean. That's it, I'm going to have to report this. You do that. Victor 9, what is it? I want your job. You can have it once I've been promoted to command. But I want it now. Keep dreaming. I mean to kill you all. Ha ha. Very funny, cadet. I suggest you get back to your post before I report you to captain. Report me, I dare you. Very well. Your wish is granted. Oh god. I am so sorry for Victor 9. Jeez. Captain Alica's tyranny must end. It's not a smart thing to say, cadet. Join my mutiny today. I'm gonna have to report this. Do. Number 6. See you later. How do I get... I have to put you on... Oh. Shit, I keep forgetting. I'd like to put my findings back. So... so it's kinda weird. So that's number 9. This must be some mistake, sir. Why do you say that? We both can't have the same call sign. That's a grade D uniform offense. Indeed. And what if one of us gets promoted? We wouldn't know which one they meant, would we? You're right. There must be some sort of mix-up. Use the intercom. I'm calling from the bridge. Why would you say yours is number 6? Say yours is number 9. Stupid twat. Maybe we can miss... Oh, there we go. Victor 9, report to call room duty. Repeat, Victor 9, report to call room duty. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes right now. You're in a lot of trouble, Victor 9. I don't want to be seen talking to you. It might compromise my chances of getting promoted. Alright, let's look through the porthole. There's no one there. Someone really did a number on this cabin. I wonder if they found what they were looking for. One reminds me of the lamp I have in my bachelor pad. This seems to be a pretty senseless thing to knock over. Were they trying to look under it? It's the same type of t-shirt I wear sometimes wear. Lockers are empty now. I used to boil water in these before I met Attica. I used this vitamin supplement for a while when I was trying to get back in this shape. As if it wasn't dirty enough already. It's label of dandruff shampoo I sometimes use. Here we go. I never would have found it if I don't know where to look. Alright, let's leave. Alright, let's become number 6. Alright. It's time to go figure this shit out. I guess we're tuning. I honestly wonder what this will do. Oh, maybe we need to go somewhere else. Victor 11's disappearance. Maybe this is where we have to use it. They said it was finicky. So I wonder where it has to be used. I do wonder. Let's go ask the conspiracy guy, Because maybe he might know something. Like on where to look. Is this the radio? So you found it. Yeah, it was right on the right where you said it would be. What's the next step? Ah, damned if I know. Mind if I ask you a few questions? I found the radio, now what? I wish I knew. He said it would lead to something he had hidden. But I can't see how that would work. I mean, it's just a radio. Actually, I'm actually starting to think that maybe the radio is Morse code. That would be my best bet. Huh. What can you tell me? Where did you find this? Amongst Victor 11's belongings. Have you seen it before? No, I had no idea he was involved in something like this. But it explains a lot. Like what? Well, extortion's a dangerous business to be involved with. Looks like he got mixed up in something he couldn't handle. Bit of a cautionary tale. What do you think of this? Damn. This is exploitive stuff. Where did you find it? It was in Victor 11's belongings. Does it mean anything to you? Well, for starters, it means there was foul play involved in this disappearance. But I'm sure a smart guy like you figured that out already. What are you trying to find? That's a tricky one. Tomatoes are quite scarce since the rationing. Without it, it's just a drink and not bloody. The kitchen might still have a few if you're lucky. I didn't think of that. Thanks. So they do, but not willing to hand it over? Call kitchen. We're working within limits. Weeks, we've started circuits. What can I make into... Actually, you know what? My bet is the radio is gonna work with the statue. Damn. When I figure something out, I will come back. But we'll see. Because my main thing is I need to figure out what to do about the tomato juice. So let me figure that out first and then I'll come back. Alright, so I have an idea, but I honestly don't know if it will actually work. As I was joking about this earlier, but what if we use the scalpel on ourselves? Ouch. And then use it to make a Bloody Mary. Human tomato juice, I guess. Lo behold, I have created a Bloody Mary. It's a Bloody Mary. Emphasis on the bloody part. Yeah, it's not my favorite one either. It's slightly lacking in texture, but overall I'd say it's a damn good Bloody Mary. I don't know if it's up to the captain's standard though. I guess there's only one way to find out. Send it to the bridge and hope for the best. To the bridge. You sent the drink to the bridge yet? Yeah, I just did that. Great, now all I have to do is wait and see if she approves. Here's your reward. Oh, finally. I examine napkin. Okay, so different places require different frequencies. Okay, so in there, that's their room. Oh, okay. So this should be 26 megahertz. I'll stand here just in case. Um, 26 is going to work somewhere, and I know that. That's a good idea, but I still have to tune it in manually. A to B? Oh, that's the lawn chair area. Alright, so... Oh! The radio seems to emit a faint sound. This... Oh, they get stronger by the life preservers. The deck will be 27. Did that not... Okay, so that's the long hallway. I know where that is. That's the bar area, and this is the lounge. Let's try that. Do I have to go back and come back? Victor 5, report to the bridge. Repeat, Victor 5, report to the bridge. Do you hear that? This is it. She must have loved the drink. I'm finally going to be promoted to captain. That's great, I'm so happy for you. I thought this day would never come. I thought I would get stuck in this bar forever. But now I see that all my hard work has paid off. It was all part of her plan. I'm so nervous. I'm finally going to meet the captain. How do I look? Do I look alright? You look fine. I won't forget what you did for me today. One day, when I'm established on the bridge, I will pay that favor. See you around, kid. Yeah, you're fucked. Oh, maybe it's on 0.5? Because there was one of these. Ugh, fuck. This is the most annoying bloody thing. Fuck. Let's tune it back to 26 and head back to the sun deck. Seems stronger here. This is A plus 11. Seems to come from over here. Where the hell? Oh, examine pulley. There seems to be something hidden behind the pulley. A small radio transmitter with a piece of paper taped to it. Seems to note of some kind. Hey, let's examine. Just some vague lines. Alright, so why would he draw this? Okay, so that's not gonna help me at the moment. Okay, so let's examine the napkin again. So this was 26. That means I'm working with 27 and 27.5. Alright, let's see where 27 works. I would imagine this would be one. Damn, I don't understand the napkin, to be honest. Am I just wrong about something? Is there other frequencies? Or am I just like going crazy? Oh, maybe 26 will work again. And that it might just be randomized per run. Leave the area and then we'll come back. No. Alright, let me... Oh. Oh, okay. This should be my cabin, right? It should be 28 in here. $28.5? I'm doing like quick math in my head about how this works, but I might just be wrong. Do I have the wrong cabin? Okay, maybe I have the wrong cabin. Alright, so I'm gonna figure this shit out and then I'll come back when I find the next radio signal. Alright, so I am back. I was like searching some rooms when I'm on frequency 27, and what I think is the main areas I have is this one, and then this one. I have to figure out where the areas are, and I guess this one. And then I have to use the proper frequencies, which are these three. So the last one after this should be 27.5. And now that I figured that out, I should be actually good to go. The plug at the bottom of the bed came off. There's a radio transmitter with a note on the inside of... Okay, that gives me 2. And I did turn it to the correct frequency in here. So that's good to know. I wonder if this is one of those things that... Oh, there we go. Oh, here we go. I wonder how much of this game is randomized and how much of it is going to be the same between runs. So that's kind of got me interested, or intrigued, I suppose. Alright, so no one's followed me. They look like map pieces, but I'm not sure how they pieced to get them together. Well, for one, you do have to line them up. But they're not going to line up nicely. I do wonder, this ought to make things a bit easier. I don't know how the fuck you think this is easier. Oh. Okay, I know how they line up now. So this is the base. And then you have to line these papers up correctly with places on the original map. So good enough there. Right outside. See, the red lines seem to converge right outside cabin 2. I wonder what's there. Oh, you know what? I'll hold on to these notes. I was saying it for the whole chapter. This thing seems sketchy as fuck. The lines on the map converged right about here. There must be something special about this statue. I'd better examine it carefully. Look behind, there's nothing. Examine tail, can't find anything. It seems hollow, but aside from that, there's nothing remarkable about it. Aside from the head being of a fish, it's pretty remarkable. It has 2 eyes, a mouth, just as you expect. Finger in its mouth. The tongue yields a little when I press it. A hidden compartment opened on the underside of the statue. Something fell out of it. Alright, let's see. Victor 67. Oh god. Above average intelligence. Proficient number based on environment or motivated. So there's a lot of missing people. Like a lot. Holy shit. The hell am I supposed to make that out of that? I located 11's radio, but I don't know what to do with it. It's just a radio. There's nothing much you can do except for listen to it. Do you really think it has bearing on the case? It could have. Keep investigating it then. 11 left an odd message at the bar before he went missing. Really? What did it say? It seems to have to do something with the radio frequencies. But I don't know how there's significance yet. Do you really think it has any bearing? It might. I know why 11 went missing. Really? What was it? He found some old personal files that mentioned hundreds of crew members gone missing. 11 was probably using the roster to try to leverage some kind of deal. But things turned ugly and he was made to disappear. What was so who's being implicated then? Who's behind this all? It's pretty conclusively points out the captain as the cause of the disappearances. The crew members were all carrying out her orders when they disappeared. I believe she set up a meeting on the sun deck as a trap for 11. Are you aware of what you're saying, man? Are you sure you're willing to bet your career on this? I'm only trying to get to the bottom of the case. Yeah, I think it would be best if we confront the captain with what we know right away. This has gone too far. That is very admirable, but I'm afraid I can't join you. The evidence is circumstantial at best. What? Also, I have other engagements this evening. I think it'd be better if you confront the captain yourself. It's probably best if you don't mention me. I wouldn't want to take credit for all your hard work after all. More like, you just don't want to go down with the ship if I am wrong. So fuck you. But go ahead, call the bridge if you really feel like you want to push the issue. Honestly, I kind of feel like I should. Bridge. Alicia? Captain Neff isn't here right now. Would you like to leave a message? I know the captain's behind the disappearances. Captain doesn't have any time to listen to wild accusations. I can prove my claim. I have personal files she's been searching for. Well, dear boy, why didn't you say so? Come in. Let's talk about this. Holy shit, I'm gonna die. Oh, there we go. Alright. Alicia, I finally found you. I can't believe what I had to go through in order to see you. Alicia isn't here right now. Would you like to leave a message? What? Who are you? I think you know who I am. Oh god, you're the machine in the basement? I'll quote the description, but yes. I'm part of the machine. What have you done to Alicia? Nothing, really. She's still here. She's merely been suppressed. I thought taking her over her vocal facilities would make things easier. Make what easier? I swear if you hurt her in any way, you can rest easily, Mr. Neff. Hurting a dreamer is only the last resort now that I know how frail your bodies are. That was the last valuable thing Mr. Morton taught me. I want to extend the lease on life his family gave me. I can't allow you or your dupes to stand in my way. What happened to 11? He got what he wanted. He got promoted to command. And the other missing crewmates? I could tell you, but I think it would be much more efficient to show you. Oh, fuck. Where am I? What is that horrible smell? Examine fuse box. That's ventilation. I need to somehow get the lights on. The chute has been rusted shut. I can't open it. Oh, actually, maybe gasoline? That should have worked. Examine rest. Came off the coal chute. Looks like a femur. Huh. Oh, that's different levels. Ah, there we go. Well, fuck. The arms are covered in bite marks. Did he try to chew them off? Judging from the badge, this was Victor 11. This is where he ended up. The head has been separated from this crew member's body. There's patches of mold growing on it. This was Victor 84. His jaw was partially detached from the rest of his skull. It's the body of Victor 9. His face seems to have caved in due to blunt force trauma. The top of the skull is missing. I'm guessing the tentacle entered here. I'm guessing this is another crew member, but it's hard to tell from the decomposition. Jesus Christ. Another dead crew member. I can't see a badge on his body. I can see the cranium under the thin, translucent skin. His clothes have been partially ripped off. Festering scratches cover the exposed body parts. It seems to be sucking fluids out of the fresh corpses. His face is almost unrecognizable, but judging by his badge, this is the body of the bartender. This is where he ended up, the poor bastard. Help. God, what the fuck do I say? I'm sorry this happened to you. Yes. How can I help you? Help me. You want me to help you? Yes. Help me. I don't know how to help you, please. I'll come back for you. His face is mutilated. Gasoline? Doesn't even work. Put some rust into the shaker. God. Shaker seems to be full, but mixing anything didn't turn up anything, but it's all the sun start over. That's a good idea, but the box is completely empty. So, rust. Shaker won't help him right now. Leave. I've emptied the shaker. Okay. So about this. The tentacle has lodged itself in the stomach and is sucking fluids from his body. So give it gasoline and rust, I guess. Gin is kind of flammable. I don't know. Shit, I wonder what to do now. A clear liquid is seeping from his ruptured eyes. Oh God. It's looking fluids. Give me 1 sec to figure out the recipe, and then I'll be back when I do. Okay, so this took me a little bit, but I did actually figure it out. You have to examine the rat poison. And then it tells you that there's a label on it saying, warning, lethal upon injection. And then you have to make it. So we need alcohol, iron, gas, the lemon, and then the bone. So let's do it. That's the iron, gas, alcohol, lemon, there we go. And I put some bone shards in the shaker. The contents of the shaker turned into a makeshift rat poison. It kind of sucks that we couldn't save the bartender, but at least we can give him death. It's better than this hell. Swallow this, brother. It's all I can do for you now. Damn, that's fucked up. Something seems to have happened with the tentacle. Hey, Victor? Are you there? Alika? Thank God you're safe. Here, let me help you up. Freedom! I'm so sorry, Victor. I could see and hear you, but it's like I wasn't in control of my own body. I know, honey. The machine told me. But it's alright now. Aww. That's adorable. I could feel you in my dream. I wanted to warn you, but the machine wouldn't let me. I was so afraid it would hurt you. I know, honey. I managed to spoil its food supply. I don't think it'll be coming back here anytime soon. No, but the machine is still forcing me to sleep, even though I'm fighting to wake up. I thought you would wake up once I've severed it from your dream. You need to cut out the dream you need to cut the machine out of every dream first. Only then will it shut down completely and let me go. What if I fail? You always said I had a pacifying influence on you. So having me as a drooling vegetable might be right up your alley. Don't say that, Alika. It isn't funny. I know. Can you see yourself changing my diapers? Or spoon-feeding me purees into my blank, unresponsive face? I will if I have to. How do I get out of this dream? Leave the same place you came in. The exit is tricky to spot, but if you don't know where to look... So this is your recurring dream, huh? Do you always dream about being alone on a boat with multiple copies of me? I don't know if I'm flattered or creeped out. It usually isn't like this. But at least I didn't dream about somebody else. You always had a good taste when it comes to men. Let's stay like this for a little while longer. I'll miss you when you leave. I'll see you on the other side, once the machine has been shut down. I'm sorry to leave you, but I have to. I know. But I'll see you soon, eh? Yeah. See you on the other side, my love. Alright. Oh. Where is everyone? I hate exiting doors in this level. That's weird. Am I the only one left now? Oh, actually... Oh, there it is. Before I go, I just wanted to see if the intercom would still work. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think it will. Maybe someone's in engineering? Alright. Well, at least I got to test my theory that there's like no one else on board. It's kind of a shame though. Alright, let's leave. Now that Alicia told me what to look for, the exit is actually easy to spot. Strange that I couldn't see it before. Alright, so that was chapter 3. And because I never read the chapter name, the chapter is called A Boat Beneath a Sunny Sky. That was incredibly fucking messed up on multiple degrees, but like, I kind of love it. Like, that's what I expect from a game about dreams. And I don't think I would have it any other way, to be honest. But at least with this podcast, that's it. That's chapter 3. It's running on a little longer than I thought it would. So, I'll end it off here. So, thank you for tuning into our frequency. This is the Rebel Lemon signing off. So, good night and sweet nightmares.